Good morning! If this is your second lesson of the day, then welcome back to after break time. Or worksheet time, because you should have been doing worksheets. If this is your first lesson of the day, brilliant. Welcome to the channel, or welcome to the lesson, or welcome to wherever. We're back at the Math Zoo today. We've already been to the Math Zoo and you've designed some wonderful enclosures for me. We've got lots of enclosures designed and they're being built at the moment by Jeff, the enclosure builder. But I've also got all sorts of other things to be done. I've got to get some feeding sorted. I've got some various different activities. I need you to build up your information so that you can be good tour guides for me. So, with all that things to do, we haven't got time to waste. So, are we all ready to visit the zoo? I hope so, because I've got all sorts of information that we need to cover. Activities, things to do, just general fun. Sure, fun. So, here we are. First of all, this is the last Math Zoo thing. Amazingly, it had 139 people viewed it, which was awesome. You'll notice we fell a bit down on the Math Zoo researchers, because this was supposed to be filled with research on what animals eat. Do not worry, we do need more researchers, so hopefully the research activity at the bottom of this lesson will have a bit more interaction from you. However, we did get some interaction from Alicia and from Nathan, who did help me out with some what the animals eat. If they hadn't done that, our animals would have starved. I was about to give them all Haribo, and that wouldn't have worked at all. So you must get involved. Please try and consider getting involved, commenting on the lessons below. There's in the description. There's again worksheets that you can download, attempt the worksheets, then send photos of your worksheets, send photos of you working, send photos of your dog, anything on the Facebook group. There's everything in there for you. So here we go. Your starter. Chimpanzees love fruit. While I'm greeting everyone in the live stream, how many different types of fruit can you name in 45 seconds? You need to write them down or say them. Go. And I'm going to say good morning to. Wow. Good morning to Amber, Vera, Alicia, Alfie, back again, Sparsh, Advika, Sharanya's here, Nathan's here, Snyman100, good morning, Rashan, and Nitesh, Jonathan's, oh sorry, that Snyman is Jonathan, thank you for letting me know. Morning Vicky fellows. Good morning, Claire Blades. Good morning. Why are we speaking caps? I don't know. People. Good morning, Imogen. That says it's Tom, but it says Jenny. Amazing. Good morning, Harry. Good morning, Evelyn in Norfolk. Good morning, Orange. No, I think we've started to name different types of fruit. We're running out of time, so I reckon you've got another 15 seconds to name more fruit. If you're not watching this live, obviously you can actually time yourself 45 seconds, or you can just do it along with us. Name as many fruits as you can. Yellow carrot is not a fruit, salt cod. Good morning, Harriet. Tomato is a fruit. I will allow that. Good morning, Alexander and Kira. Alicia has a lot of fruit there. Well done if anyone managed to get over 10 fruit in 45 seconds. That's one fruit every 4.5 seconds. The chimpanzees will be very, very happy with you. I'll show you how happy they will be with you. They will be this happy with you. Here we go. Here's one of the chimpanzees. I thought you'd want to say hello because... There you go. This is one of the chimpanzees. He's covered in dog fur from he was stroking the dog earlier. He is really happy that you've been giving him fruit. And he just wanted to come and say hello because he's really keen on being involved in the live stream. And if you've got any questions... He'll be in the live stream able to help later. Unfortunately, his typing isn't as good as I'd like. He just sort of seems to bash the keyboard. So, like, when he tries to get involved with helping out with the live chat, it sort of goes a bit like that, which isn't not as helpful, is it? But he's keen, so there's always that. He needs to go away now because we've got other things to do. So we're going to be talking about, first of all, with various different aspects of the zoo, and we're going to talk about feeding. Now, I just want to say right now, I have had help when in setting up my math zoo from Marwell Zoo. Marwell Zoo has some worksheets on the website on its website and some math stuff that it's already set up, and it's also got all sorts of information about feeding and stuff that I've borrowed. Hope you all realise I am not trying to steal anything here. I am just borrowing their research and their information to help me set up my math zoo. So all the stuff we're going to be doing, some of it has been borrowed or helped out by Marwell Zoo. You'll notice if you go in the description below, you will see worksheets that are, again, come from Marwell Zoo. Please don't be like, Mr. Harris's zoo is not as good as Marwell Zoo, because you're right, they've got real animals, whereas I might not have many real animals. But don't tell them that, because these animals are keeping me company in the lockdown. Mr. Harris has flipped a little bit. Right. So our first activity. Where are we? Here we go. We're looking at feeding the giraffes. Girafa camelopardis. They come from sub-Saharan Africa, and their habitat is normally savanna. Now, this is useful for later things. The habitat of savanna, it's kind of grassland with a few trees. It's dry, not necessarily desert, but dry. And even a newborn baby can measure up to 2 meters tall. Now, that's taller than I am. I'm 1.9 meters. I know I'm pretty tall myself, but they can measure up to 2 meters tall. And here is the daily feed ratio for giraffes. You can see we've got 3/4 of a scoop of giraffe nuts. I don't know why I'm doing a northern voice. Some dried alfalfa, some oats, and some flaked maize. That's amazing. No one needs to know that just happened. So, if I head over to the whiteboard, I can talk to you about what that means. Here you can see I've got the information they just gave us, and David, who's my chief zookeeper, I think they call them zookeepers nowadays, not chief feeder. He wants to make up a bucket full of giraffe feed, and a bucket holds 15 scoops. How much of each ingredient should David put in the bucket? So we've got these fractions, and he needs to know how to do this. Well, actually, while it looks like a fraction question, I actually think this can be done using ratios. And the reason for this is, if I've got 3/4 and 1.5 and 1/2 and 1/4, and they are all ratios, so really instead of commas I want to have dots between them. Fractions are not nice to deal with, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to double them all. 2 lots of 3/4 is 1.5, that becomes 3, that becomes 1, and that becomes 1/2. And I've still got fractions in it, so I'm going to double it again. As long as you do the same to everything, your ratio stays the same. So doubling it again, that's going to become 3, 6, 2, 1. Here we have a simplified ratio that is the same. They are the same. I've just times by 4. Doubling and doubling again is times by 4. And you may have noticed here that this total scoops is 12. But we want a bucket full, which is going to be 15 scoops. So what we can do is realise that this in total adds up to 3 scoops. 3/4 plus another quarter is 1 whole. 1.5 plus another half is 2. That's 3 scoops in total. If a bucket holds 15 scoops, we can use that to go, oh, wait a minute. 3 scoops into 15 scoops, that's just 3 times 5. So sometimes the math actually can emerge from playing around with the numbers. Here we can see the total of the scoops is 3. How much should each ingredient? Well, we've just spotted that we just times it by 5. So what we could do is just times every one of these by 5. And I know I've got year 5s all the way up to year 9s here, so we've got different abilities. 3/4 times 5. What I do is I do it times the top number only. So this is 15/4. This one is 5 and 5/2, so that will be 7.5. This one is 5/2, which is 2.5. And this one is 5/4, or 1.25. This makes 3 3/4. So we can work with multiplying by 5 because we've got the number of buckets and scoops just here. So in order to help with that, now you know you've got this right because a key helper I've sent to help David out with this is just here, and you can see he's nodding. That is exactly how to do it. So are you sure you're happy with that? Yeah. He's very happy, very, very happy indeed. I am well aware I am a 38-year-old man with a giraffe on my hand talking to an empty room. Doesn't matter. It's keeping me sane in the lockdown. So this is how we're going to be doing this. Okay. Now the next question says, David only has 3 scoops of oats left. Only has 3 scoops left. How many scoops of the other ingredients will he need to make the feed in the correct ratio? So his oats, he only has 3 scoops left. So 3 scoops. What I would do here is how many halves? Hopefully some of you realise that there are 6 halves in 3 whole ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So we've got those 6 halves. Okay. That makes 3 whole scoops. That means he's going to need to do 6 of everything. So that's how he can work out how much of each ingredient. We did it with times 5. You can do it with times 6. So one thing you can go away and do is try timesing each of these fractions by 6. 3/4 times 6 is 18/4, which is the same as 4.5. I'll show you where I got that. 3 times 6 is 18/4. When you're multiplying whole numbers by fractions, just times the top numbers. This is because if you're lost on this, go back to our lesson on multiplying fractions. You can always turn a whole number into a fraction by putting it over 1. So 3 times 6 is 18. 4 makes 18 over 4, which is 4.5. So that's 4.5 scoops of giraffe nuts. We also need some dried alfalfa. So we need 6 lots of that. 6 ones is 6, and 6 halves is 3. So we're going to need 9 scoops of alfalfa. And then the maize, that's amazing. I'm still going to keep doing it. 1/4 times 6 is 1.5. So we should have 1.5 scoops of maize. Scoops of maize. I think I read somewhere that Maisie might be here. We may have someone watching this video today who is called Maisie, which is amazing, and it means that Maisie is watching a thing about maize, and I'm making silly jokes about amazing. How many buckets can you fill with that number of scoops? Well, we did that first. We worked out the other way, didn't we? We said we need 9 scoops. So 3 scoops in total. We said that we would need 3 scoops, and we worked out we could do 6 lots. That means 6 lots of this is 18 scoops. I don't think we need to use that as a mixed number. How many buckets can you fill? Well, a bucket full is 15 scoops. We need 18 scoops. That's going to be 18 divided by 15. I think that's 1 3/15, but that simplifies to 1 1/5. If you've got any questions about how to do this, put it in the chat. People might be able to help you. You might have people who are willing to explain, and if not, I will happily answer any questions that people are still stuck with at the end. I can't just talk to the live chat at the same time as explaining. It's very complicated, but I'm always happy to answer questions in the comments below the video. So that is the giraffe feeding. I hope that's been interesting to you. Here is the next activity. I've said to you, I would like you to help with the info. So here's a little game that we've got. These are called Venn diagrams, probably invented by Jeff Venn. I don't know that. I've just invented that information. So what you do, you choose any 3 different requirements. For example, has some hair or fur, can fly, has exactly 4 legs, has a tail, a mammal, eats fish or meat, eats plants, comes from Africa, is threatened in the wild or lives in forests. You can actually come up with anything you want and you put one in each of these sections called attribute. Then you take it in turns with someone, trying to say the name of an animal, and the animal, you work out which of those things it has. So we're going to just do the top 3 here. Has some hair or fur goes here, can fly, and has exactly 4 legs. Can anyone in the chat, while I have a quick look and see if there's any questions, come up with an animal that will score us 4 points? It has some hair or fur, it can fly, and has exactly 4 legs. Good luck with that challenge. The feeding lemurs is in the worksheets, Harry. So if you download the worksheets are more things about feeding. So the giraffe feeding was done, is a part of the lesson. The other activities are things for you to go off and do. Okay? So hopefully that makes sense to you. I love your answer, Salt Cod. I do believe dragons would have scales rather than fur. I do think that they can fly and would probably have 4 legs. So I would say fly and 4 legs would get you 3 points because it would be in the crossover between fly and 4 legs. I'm not sure it has hair and fur. A flying squirrel. Harry Sharp, you have nailed it. What a great answer that is. Flying squirrel has hair or fur. We're going to say it can fly because it's called a flying squirrel and has exactly 4 legs. A dog on a plane. Nat H, you are amazing. You are my sort of student. Dog on a plane is the best answer ever. Peyton says a bat. What a brilliant answer that is. Flying squirrel. Yeah, a fly. I don't do flies have 4 legs? I thought flies have 6 legs. I haven't caught one. A sugar glass. What is it? Flying squirrel. William got flying squirrel as well. I don't think we. I do apologise if I've claimed the wrong person, Claire. I do apologise if I'm pleased with everyone's answer. A dog with a jetpack. What brilliant answer. So you can all see how this game works. You can try it with any different things. Maybe if you've got 2 brothers or 2 sisters or a brother and a sister and you want to play against each other, you just choose 3 attributes and then you take it in turns to name animals, and those animals score you points for where in the game that you put them. So each animal, or you can do it the other way around. You can put 3 animals around the edge instead of 3 attributes and use the Venn diagram to score points of naming it an attribute that all 3 of them has. For example, if I put elephant, chimpanzee and elephant, chimpanzee and hippo, and I said then they climb trees, then I'd get all 4 points because elephants climb trees and hippos climb trees and chimpanzees climb trees. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. Yeah, hopefully no one's noticed that that's not quite right. But if you can think of anything that elephants and hippos and chimpanzees all do other than live in a zoo, let me know. Okay, so we've so far covered a game to improve your information. We've also looked at feeding and using giraffe feeding problem. We did some maths on that. There are more problems in the worksheets in the description with different animals. You've got some stuff on lemurs, you've got some stuff on rats, and you've got some stuff on porcupines. There's some stuff to cut out. There's some different worksheets to work on. Let me know how you get on with them. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments below the video and I'll always try and get back to you on them. I can respond easily to comments to this video. If you're doing work on the worksheets to do with this lesson, the best place to put the feedback is in the comments of this lesson, because then I can know that which worksheet it goes with and I can easily find the worksheet. Let each other know if you've got any questions. Hopefully that's useful. They've been known to chase people up trees. You're absolutely correct. Mammals would have been a brilliant answer. Didn't even think about the mammal side of things. So here's your challenge for today. You need to complete the Math Zoo feeding worksheets. Your research challenge is to find a list of animals and their habitats. I mentioned this earlier. Each animal will have different types of habitats. For example, I don't want to be putting my penguins in a savanna habitat. You can find these all out online, link them in the comments to this video. Each animal you can find with different habitats, or come up with a habitat and list some animals for that habitat. So you might decide to put savanna and lots of animals that are in that habitat. That's your research challenge. And don't forget, if this is the first time you've seen this week's Taskmaster challenge is to create the best Where's Wally or Where Am I Hiding scene. Maybe in your garden, maybe in your lounge, maybe in your bedroom. Wherever you make it, you have to be able to be seen in the picture somewhere, but you can make it as difficult as you can. You can put other people in the picture, you can do whatever you want to try and make it difficult to see you, but you have to be seeable. Okay? I'm interested to see what you can do. You can make a photo, you can do a drawing, you can do artwork, whatever you fancy. I want to see those Taskmaster challenges. So, thank you very much for joining me at the Math Zoo feeding time. Hopefully that's been informative. You've looked at the giraffe feeding, we've looked at a little game you can play, and we've got some worksheets to do more math feeding stuff. Do get in touch with me if there's any problems with that. I'd love to find out the work you're doing. I've been Mr. Harris. You've been amazing. Let me know in the comments or on anything else how you get on with things. Remember, if you've learned something today, feel free to like and subscribe. The more likes, the more subscribes, the more people get to see the videos. Hopefully that's been useful, and I will see you tomorrow where we'll be doing something else. It says standard form on the things. That's because I'm an idiot. We did standard form last week. I will be changing that soon as these lessons are all finished. Thank you very much. Mr. Harris is on his way out.